Imp at 1, is Beelzemon done? And the answer to that question is no. With the Impmon from EX2 being hit to 1, all it did was make the deck a little bit more fair. It's a little bit slower, not quite as explosive, but you can still do some unfair things with the different tech options that you can play. I had one of the game of the past weekend where this deck actually took first place. Where that happened, I will showcase that when I get to it. But to start off, we are still playing 2 Pokemon. The on deletion is still helpful. We still want to put some cards in the trash, even if we're not playing a turbo mill deck, but instead playing a more graveyard toolbox deck. And then 3 of the Yamon, we are building stacks more often now, so having the ability to swing and mill is very important. And then going into our rookie lineup, so yes, we are playing the one of Impmon from EX2. It is still a very good card. You're still going to want to use it, and you can still loop it with and Mako. As well as 3 of the BT2 Impmon. Like I said, this one is a little bit more graveyard toolboxy, but this as the 4 of is also perfectly fine. I just like the 3 ratio. But if I was going to make it to 4, I would just cut one of these, which I'm still running the 4 of Impmon from the starter deck, as well as the 4 Impmon X. This is even more clutch now with the ability to loop your 1 Impmon back to the top, or just get your key pieces still. Next, going into our champions, I bumped the lineup from last time to 8. So we're playing 4 of the promo Wizardmon and 4 of the Wizardmon X antibody. You're still going to want to run this at 4 because of the mill gain of memory effect, as well as that inheritable does come up more often than not now. And then the Wizardmon X, if you're in a pinch and need a blocker, but you're just wanting it for those trash inheritable and the trash on Digivolution. Witchmon is also a decent consideration. As for the level 5s, last time I was only playing 5, I've actually bumped the count up to 6. We're playing for the structure deck, Ballmon still. The on Digivolution, that way your stack has it, whether you Digivolve or if it gets de-Digivolved, still having that ability to bring a Beelzemon back and go is incredibly important. 1 Ballmon X. This one I'm kind of on the fence about. The inheritable does come up the on Digivolution milling. If I was to cut it, I would cut it for an additional BT10 Ballmon, which has the on deletion always live. And then the swing mill 3, so you get your cards in the trash. Megas, we are still running 6. The 2X antibody Beelzemon, the 2 Beelzemon from EX2, and the 2 structure deck Beelzemon. This ratio doesn't need to change, it's pretty much perfect. You're either going to get them to hand and go into them that way, or you'll get them into the trash and recover them through Rival's Barrage, through Impmon X, or through one of the cards that I tried out and worked great over this weekend. Next are the level 7s, which we're still playing 1 Blast Mode. You can play it at 2, but I feel that's a little clunky. I like the 1 because I like having the Death Xmon safety net. Because Hunter is still a thing, Crossheart is still a thing, and just go wide strategies in general are still a thing. As for the Tamers, the one that I was kind of alluding to as a tech spot was the BT2 Matt. Worked incredibly well. I was not disappointed with this. Whenever I played it, as the only memory setter in the deck, it has that function, but the ability to get any option back, as well as any of your pieces, is something that's incredibly important going forward, I think, with the toolbox. And then 3 and Mako. That is staying the same from the prior builds, and I don't think you need to run 4. You can, but the tutor ability, as well as the ability to just stack your deck when you evolve, is how you're going to loop that Impmon that's now at 1, as well as just pop your other effects. Going into the options, ran 2 Darkness Wave. This was the other replacement for the Impmon and the card that I mentioned earlier. One of my games, I was on the play. I won the first game. They wanted me to go first. So I proceeded to evolve in the back. Darkness Wave, mill 3, gained a memory. And then Darkness Wave again because I opened 2 Darkness Wave. Putting them at 1, so a little bit of choking, as well as having 8 cards in the trash on turn 1 was very, very strong, in my opinion. Then still playing the Mist Memory Boost. It's still wanting to put cards in the trash. You still draw a card, which is helpful, and then having that memory. And then, of course, the 4-ofs, the Death Slinger, and the Rivals Barrage. I will be honest, I actually forgot that I was not playing 7th Full Cluster in this until round 3. That card is still fine. I will try out a variant with that, but this is one I ran, and I was perfectly content with it. This is never going to change until they get hit, if they get hit. This one will be the one that gets hit. Death Slinger is just such a strong card, being able to pop anything, starting at level 4 and lower, and then just increasing to 6 by the time you have 20 in trash, which is the key that you want to be at anyways. Rivals Barrage is removal, and it's recursion. But yeah, that's the deck. Beelzemon is perfectly fine. Anybody that's saying the deck is dead was just playing Flavor of the Month. It's a little bit more fair, a little bit less explosive, but it is still incredibly unfair with the ability to choke your opponent and one-shot them. Yeah. Come check us out live on Twitch. We're getting ready to start a Digimon series playthrough of the games, as well as Final Fantasy 16 when that's coming up. And then you can just chat about the card game later.